mean, I've gotten a lot of amazing advice from people just by reaching out to them and telling them what I'm doing. So we have someone from WebMD who has given us like really great feedback. I can't think of anyone else who's a product manager. And that was actually from EdTechWomen, a network that I created myself. I was just sort of trying to talk about other people's accomplishments. And I said, oh, by the way, I'm doing this. And that sort of came out of nowhere. Someone else I reached out to just helped me get the lay of the land. I knew a little bit about the VC sort of landscape, but not enough to really go out on my own. And I really did need mentorship in that space. And so a lot of people have been more than happy to spend 45 minutes with me and share their like 10 years of experience, and it saved me days. And so I just haven't been afraid to ask for help. And I think the assumption that people will be generous is a much better assumption to walk in with than to be afraid of for asking people for help.
I think that's so key. I tell people the exact same thing. And I think what I'm also hearing from you is that you walked into this with like a purpose, obviously, and you were like trying to solve this problem. And you just thought, if I can actually get the word out, maybe I can, really solve this problem for a lot of other people. But, I talk about this all the time. With the founding of Hint, that I didn't have any experience in the food and beverage industry. And I had been a vice president and at AOL, and, I was managing a bunch of people, and, had sort of like was kind of at the top of my game. And then all of a sudden I decided to lug cases into Whole Foods and try and get it on the shelf. And, my friends, I'm sure you had the same thing. Like people are like, wait, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And, and all of that. And I love the idea, or I should say I was okay with the idea of not really knowing everything. Like people would come to me and ask me to make decisions and teach them and everything. Right. And all of a sudden I'm in like the student role, right? Where I'm learning all these things, and I'm like just reaching out to anybody who would talk to me in, lots of different industries. It sounds like the same for you, and I still like want to be learning. Like part of the reason why we launched deodorant and launch all these new things is my need for like, not to be done learning. Right. And I feel like that is, the perfect entrepreneurial story.